In 1987, the landscape of Philippine cinema was dominated by stories of men pushed to their absolute limits, but few resonated with the raw, visceral energy of Batas Aking Kamay. This film stands as a monumental entry in the filmography of Fernando Poe Jr., capturing a moment in history where the lines between the law of the state and the law of the individual became dangerously blurred. Unlike the polished police procedurals of the era, this was a story of a breakdown, of a man, a family, and a legal system that failed to protect its most loyal citizens. The narrative arc of the film is a masterclass in psychological dissent. At the center of the storm is Ramon Ignacio, a man whose identity is rooted in his roles as a son, a brother, and a peaceful member of society. Ramon is not a seeker of violence. He is a man of quiet labor and deep convictions. However, the world he knows is systematically dismantled by a ruthless syndicate that operates with near impunity. When a brutal attack leaves his parents and family dead, Ramon is left with a crushing realization. The badge he respected is powerless against the corruption that fuels the city's underworld. This realization is the catalyst for his transformation. Ramon doesn't just decide to seek revenge, he decides to become the law itself. Ramon's transition into a vigilante is handled with a noir sensibility that was ahead of its time. He becomes a phantom, moving through the rain-slicked streets of Manila with a singular lethal purpose. He doesn't just target the street thugs, he goes for the infrastructure of the syndicate. He destroys their communication lines, intercepts their bribes, and burns their fuel supplies, effectively blinding the beast before he moves in for the kill. The film explores the cost of this transition, showing how Ramon must bury his humanity to become the ulupong, or cobra, that the city fears and needs. His face hardens, his speech becomes sparse, and his eyes reflect a man who has already accepted that there is no returning to the life he once knew. The ensemble cast brought together the titans of the Golden Age. FPJ led the film with a stoic intensity that defined his career, but he was matched beat for beat by the legendary Eddie Garcia. Garcia's portrayal of the syndicate patriarch is chilling, not because he is loud, but because he is calm, calculating, and seemingly untouchable. The cast was further bolstered by Celia Rodriguez and Lucita Soriano, whose performances provided the emotional weight that grounded the high-stakes action. This wasn't just a movie about gunfights, it was a movie about the people caught in the crossfire of a collapsing society. Behind the lens, the film carried the distinct signature of Ronaldo Reyes. FPJ's directorial pseudonym allowed him to experiment with the atmosphere of action. He utilized wide-angle shots to show the isolation of his hero and tight claustrophobic close-ups to emphasize the tension of the hunt. The sound design was a key element of the production. FPJ insisted on heavy audio, where the metallic rack of a slide and the thunderous boom of a .45 caliber were mixed to dominate the theater's acoustics. This was a technical choice to make the audience feel the physical power of Ramon's law. Commercially, the film was a juggernaut. Released as a super roadshow event, it played to capacity crowds across the Philippines, often outgrossing international blockbusters of the same year. It was a financial triumph for FPJ Productions, solidifying King's status as a recession-proof force in the industry. Beyond the box office, it was a critical success, earning multiple FAMAS and FAP nominations for Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Action Movie. Critics of the time noted that the film was a sophisticated look at the vigilante hero, offering a darker, more philosophical take than its contemporaries. Today, Batas Aking Kamay is remembered as one of FPJ's most uncompromising works. It is a film that refuses to offer easy answers or a happy ending. Instead, it leaves the viewer with the image of a man who saved his city but lost his soul in the process. It remains a timeless piece of Filipino cinema, a story that continues to echo through the mountains and the city streets, reminding us that when the law is broken, the only true law is the one written in the heart of a man who has nothing left to lose.